Alright, what's up, guys? This is NinjaDeathStrike, and
Gun Monkey 696.
we're here to bring you our thoughts on the latest set released in Japan. That would be Cold Flare and Freeze Bolt, the set that's focusing on Black and White 2. So we've got a lot of interesting cards to talk about. I guess we'll get right into it. And starting off, first thing we need to talk about, obviously, is Vileplume. This card came out a little bit earlier than the rest of the set. What do you think about it?
I think it's cool. I don't think it's that amazing. It's definitely cool, and I can see decks being made around it, but I don't think it's going to be that great.
What it does is it's a 140 HP stage 2. Its attack kind of sucks, 50 for 4, but what makes it interesting is the ability Allergy Panic, and it says as long as the Pokemon is in play, all weaknesses are times 4. So I don't know. I think this could be a key feature in a really good deck that focuses on like cheap attackers that attack for 1 or 2 energy.
It's but
I don't know.
not the agent. Like you'd be able to like whatnot 50, and then times 4 you do 200,
Yeah.
and 50 could be done for like 2 energy.
Yep.
So I guess it could be cool.
You can also, I mean, you can play plus powers with it too, and then really like if you can do 30 or 40 for 1,
Wow.
then you can do 30. You can do like 180, 160 for 1, which is crazy. So I think it'll kind of be in like a 6 corners deck that just has a lot of stuff that hits for weakness.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
So not sure how good it'll be, but I think it's definitely got a huge amount of potential. Even if it's not
Yeah.
good right when it comes out, I think it will be good at some point before it gets rotated. So
Okay.
on the other hand, Blossom, completely forgettable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nothing.
Yeah, Heracross.
It's just pretty standard, nothing special.
Yeah, there's a lot of those in this set. Like we got 4 or 5 really interesting things, and then a lot of very very boring things.
Yeah.
Let's pull up Vespiquen.
Vespa Queen. Okay, so Swarm Water for 1 grass. Play as many Combies cards from your deck to the benches you like. It's pretty cool. And then second attack for grass and colorless. Damage beat does 20 times. The attack does 20 times the number of damage counters on the defending Pokemon, so it's alright.
It it can't
its first
even
attack-
like yeah. Go ahead.
Its first attack is cool, but I don't know, it's nothing special.
It can't even do damage if they come in fresh. It's not 20
Yeah.
plus, it's 20 times, so that makes it like I would think Swarm it would have something to do with like the amount of other Combies you have or something. It could
Yeah.
hit, but no. So, it doesn't even resist fighting, which is sad.
It's nothing.
Yeah. Next, Whimsicott. Anything?
Yeah, nothing
Yep.
much.
Nothing. Okay, here's one. Charizard. We got a new Charizard card.
Yeah,
Everyone's always excited for Charizard.
Firstly, I like Charmander. Charmander draw, and you search discard pile for up to 2 fire energies and attach them. That's really cool.
Yep.
It's one of the best attacks you see on stage of a basic Pokemon that actually evolves. So I think that'd be really nice if, depending on when you can play it in the game. And then Charizard, Bomb. You select 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. The attack does 40 to each of them, which is alright. And then Burnout, it's 150. Discard a fire energy, and what's that? It's got 1 fire energy requirement, and then 4
Colorless, yeah. So it takes 5 energy to attack.
Wow.
I think that's gonna be its downfall. 5 energy is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
It's cool. I think it'd be nice if it could hit for 180, even if it required another fire or something.
Yeah.
150 is a bit whatever.
It's
Like,
just
doesn't
out
really
of
take
range.
Too many amazing KOs.
Yeah. Like
So
it can't one shot EXs, and that's really what it's going to come down to. You
yeah,
know, if it can two shot EXs, well, so what? A lot of other things can too. Um,
I think it'd be cool if it just did 180 and maybe had 2 fire and 4 colorless.
yeah, that would have been a game changer. The picture is great. I love the
Yeah,
card
the
art.
fixture, the color.
Um, I mean, it's way too expensive and it's not enough damage. I think even with Charmander, really that first attack is nice, but after turn one, if you have to attack with Charmander, you're already screwed. So
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be a little too slow. Even if you play it with something like Embor, I don't think it's gonna be able to do enough to compete. So
it's definitely cool though.
yeah. Darmanitan?
Yeah.
Any?
Do you want to go?
Just the picture is absolutely crazy. Look at that face. Darmanitan is ridiculous looking. It doesn't even look like a Pokemon. I don't know what is going on with its face, but other than that,
Okay,
it's
so
yeah,
continuous tumble for 1 colorless does 20 times. Flip a coin till you get tails, 20 times the amount of heads. And enraged punch for 1 fire and 2 colors does 60 damage, and then if Pokemon has a damage counter on it, does another 60. So it's like Earth Ring.
yep,
I think it's cool. Without Rainbow, I don't know. That's really what worked well with Earth Ring. I think
yeah,
it'd be cool if Typhlosion was still around, but
yep,
it's
yeah,
nothing special.
yeah. I don't think it'll be good. Next, Azumarill.
Okay, for 2 colorless, you flip 2 coins for each head, heal 40 damage, and for 2 water and a colorless, it does 70, and isn't affected by resistance. So, yeah,
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah, nothing. The card art for all of these guys is based on Black and White 2. Have you played it yet?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
played it.
so I'm almost done with my playthrough, but yeah, I like the theme. Like a lot of the places are new places in Black and White too. So
Yeah.
other than that, yeah, there's nothing to say about Azumarill. It's pretty bad. Uh, Mamoswine, yes, Mamoswine. Be next.
Oh. So, Mamoswine for 1 water and 2 colorless does Froststone, 50 plus damage, flip a coin, if heads does 20 more. So, and the defending
paralyzes.
Pokemon is now paralyzed, so that's good. And then for 2 water and 2 colorless, continuous headbutt does 90 times. Flip a coin. If he gets heads, it does 90 times the amount of heads you get.
Yep.
So, it's alright. I
Um,
don't know.
yeah, I think it's really bad. Like the continuous ones, if you have to, basically you have a 50% chance to do 90 for 4, and a 25% chance to do 180. So it's definitely risky. I think people will play this card. I don't think it'll just because it's like, oh, 180. All I have to do is flip 2 heads in a row.
Yeah.
And
I don't know. It'd be cool with Victini if you can flip, even just flipping 2 heads. It's like, I don't know. I just like the chance.
yeah, it'd
But
be like
I'm not gonna play it.
I think you have even with Victini you have like a 44% chance to get
Yeah.
2 heads. And I don't know if it was. I think it would actually be playable if the attack cost 1 less energy. If it was water and then a double colorless.
Yeah.
But being a stage 2 already and taking 4 energy and having a 50% chance to do nothing, just is too many strikes against it. Picture's pretty cool though.
Yeah. Picture's cool.
Right?
Okay.
Delibird.
Oh. Does it do anything? No.
Nope.
Doesn't
It I mean present is okay, I guess.
Yeah,
If
it'd
you
be
get a
alright.
heads, you get to look for any card you want. That's kind of cool. Again, the picture is really, really nice. I like that picture a lot. But
Yeah. The
other than
background's
that,
cool.
if it had free retreat, that may have given it a niche, but it doesn't. So, all right, here we
Flip a
go.
coin. If heads, you get to search your deck. That's right.
Yeah.
Start at the start of the game, anyway.
Yep.
Maybe. Anyway.
Yeah. All right.
Listen.
Yeah. Here's something that we can actually say some things about.
Yeah. Um. Okay, so Jellicent, Sickness. While this Pokemon is in play, your opponent's Pokemon must discard one extra energy in order to retreat. And then Strange Light does 40 damage. Flip a coin if head, the defending Pokemon is now paralyzed. It's not great.
I think this, depending on the ruling, I think this guy could see some play. If he makes Darkrai decks discard energy to retreat, it could be a really annoying tech against Darkrai because
Yeah.
it doesn't say it
I,
increases the retreat cost. It says they have to discard an extra energy. So I don't know if that's the right translation though.
yeah. I thought about that. I just kind of assumed Darkrai would still retreat, but if it definitely does make Darkrai retreat for one more, it could be playable.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's alright.
it's we'll just have to wait for the ruling. Like I think if it makes Darkrai pay to retreat, it could really hurt the Hydreigon Darkrai deck that's really popular in Japan right now. So I don't know. It's got potential,
So,
maybe. Otherwise, yeah, it's not that great, but could be a
okay.
decent tech. Zebstrika,
Zebstrika.
another one. This is like the
Nitro,
fifth Zebstrika we have. Why do we have so many Zebstrikas?
I don't know, they like Zebstrika.
Apparently,
Nitro Charge for colorless, you set your deck for a fire, which is cool, I guess. And then for lightning and two colors, does 90, and you flip a coin, does 30 to itself. So it's not bad, but definitely not good.
yeah. Again, the card art is amazing. I don't know what is happening in that picture, but that thing looks badass. Yeah, but definitely not one of the better Zebstrikas. The item lock
Yeah.
one's still probably the best one. So, okay, moving on. Grumpig.
Okay, so Psybeam for a Psychic and a colorless does 30, the defending Pokemon is confused, and then Excensory for a Psychic and two colors, it does 60, and if your opponent has the same amount of cards in its hand, it does another 60. So it's alright, but
Yeah.
once again, not great.
Yep.
Just a lot of very meh cards.
Yep. And next up, Cresselia EX, our first EX
So,
for the set.
okay, so its ability, Sparkling Dust. At any time between turns, you heal 10 damage from Cresselia, and then Psycho Defender. 90 damage during your opponent's next turn's Pokemon has no weakness. Yeah, it's not good.
No, it's not. The attack's interesting.
It's
If
cool
it
with Mewtwo.
Yeah, if it
But
did either like 20 more damage or costs less energy, I could see this thing getting play, but 4 for 90 is just kind of dumb, especially on an EX.
yeah,
So, I guess it's meant to tank, so someone could find a use for it, but I don't really see it being very good.
yeah, I don't know. Even 10 between turns really isn't that big a deal.
Yeah, it's 20 per round, so that's kind of cool, but eh,
I don't think it's gonna miss that many KOs.
yeah,
But maybe with Eviolite it might do something. I don't know.
we'll see. Yeah, I'm not sold. I don't think it's going to be that great.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Next we have Amuna. Just it has a Poke Power. It's basically Hypno's Poke Power, but it can also put you to sleep now. So if you flip a heads, you put your opponent to sleep. Flip a tails, you go to sleep. And,
Ugh.
yeah, and then I guess it's meant to be used in conjunction with Musharna, who has the attack Dream Waltz, 60 damage plus. This attack can be used even if the Pokemon is asleep. If this Pokemon is asleep, it does 90 damage. So I guess that's why it's there.
Yeah.
You could
I don't know.
make a Musharna deck.
It's alright, I guess, but I don't know. I think just with my luck, I'd be putting myself to sleep and then not waking up for like 3 turns. So
Yeah, it's a cool idea, but pretty gimmicky.
yeah.
Next up, we have the Venipede line, and all three of them have the same same ability, which is Poison Point. Basically, anytime they take damage from an attack, they poison the opponent. So we'll just skip right down to Scolipede and look at him.
Okay, so Scolipede, Banner Shock for 2 Psychic and 2 Colorless. Does 80 plus another 40 if the opponent is poisoned. And Poison Point, obviously, if this Pokemon is active and it's damaged, the attack is now poisoned. So I guess it's cool.
Yeah, I like this card, and I think it could see some play because of one of the trainers that we'll get to in a little bit. There's a trainer that adds increases poison damage to 30 between turns, so that's gonna you'll be doing 80 base, possibly 120, and then also getting 30 poison. That's a lot of damage pretty fast. So I think this thing has some potential to be good.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yep.
Okay.
Next, Meloetta. Completely forgettable.
So for 1 Psychic, it does 10 plus another 20 for each energy in the defending Pokemon, and then for a Psychic and 2 colorless Echoed Voice, it does 50 during your next turn. This attack does 50 more, which is nothing. So
yeah, I mean it does 100, but it's never gonna live to see that second turn. Yeah. So at least with the Cincino that had that attack, it had the smooth coat too, but this thing just doesn't stand a chance.
Yeah.
Okay, next, Gliscor.
Okay, so for fighting, Poison Circle does 20, and the defending Pokemon is poisoned, and then on your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon can't retreat. And then for fighting colorless, it does 40, and then you switch. So it's not very good.
Yeah. Again, it could be an attacker in the poison deck if that becomes a thing. Just a bit faster than Scolipede. But yeah, not that great. Cool picture though.
Yeah. Okay.
Lunatone. Lunatone we should talk about.
I like Lunatone.
An ability.
Once during your turn, you may look at the top 2 cards of the deck, put them back on the top of your deck in any order. I don't think I liked this. Wasn't one I liked. There was something else. Is there? Cell Rock I liked.
Okay. I like this one, just because we're getting the Ether Trainer card, which lets you look at the top card of your deck, and if it's an energy, you can just attach it. So I think there's potential to combo it with either Lunatone or the ability Musharna to get some energy acceleration in really any deck. Like, it's not limited by a certain type of energy. So I like Lunatone. It's cool.
Yeah, it's alright.
And it's a basic too, so that makes it really easy to get into play. Next, okay. Mind Shao.
Knockoff for fighting in colors does 20, and then choose one of your opponent's one card in your opponent's hand without looking and discard it, and then double whip does 70 damage, flip 2 coins, this attack does 70 damage times the number of heads. So it's once again not terrible,
yeah,
but just not
completely forgettable.
Enough.
Yep, agreed. And next we have Landorus EX in his what they're called Terran form, right? The new ones.
Yeah.
Terran form Landorus EX.
Okay, so Hammerhead 30. Choose one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. This attack does 30 damage to it, and that's just for 1 fighting energy. So
yep. A really good attack.
All right. You gotta pick off at least 1 Tynamo if you're versing Eels.
If Tynamo is still like a deck by the time this comes out.
Yeah.
Who knows? Yep.
But yeah, it's good fighting, which is obviously a really great type. So
yep.
The more fighting EXs they bring out, the better fighting decks are gonna get. And with things like Terrakion EX, fighting decks definitely don't have to be just Terrakion, standard Terrakion anymore.
Yeah.
And Earth Judgment for 2 fighting and a colorless does 80 plus. If you want, you can discard all fighting energy attached to the Landorus, and it does an extra 70.
Yeah.
So that's good. I don't know if you really would ever do the discard.
I could see doing it like to one-shot Darkrai or another Fighting Week EX, because if they have 80 is only going to put you at 160. So
Yeah,
if
but
you need to take it out,
I feel like if you're going to use it, you'd probably just be using with plus power, because if you have to
yeah,
discard all energy every turn, then it's just not worth it.
yeah, that's true. And especially because there's no way for fighting to accelerate from the discard. So
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know.
I
I
don't
think
think
this
it's
guy's
very
all
good.
right.
I think I like its first attack, but its second attack, it's just I don't know. Maybe if it was like it does an extra 20, or yeah, if it does an extra 20 and you just discard one fighting,
Yeah,
I
that would
see
make it a
that being
lot
good.
better.
But
Yep.
70, it's just like with Charizard, it doesn't really hit anything, and it's just too big a downside to one it KOing something like a Raikou or Darkrai.
Yeah, and I think like Terrakion EX is just miles better than this guy. So
Exactly.
I'd just rather play that. Yep. All right, next Liepard, everyone's favorite useless Pokemon.
So tail deception, the defending Pokemon is confused. An assist, flip a coin. If heads, choose an attack for one of your bench Pokemon. Yeah. Flip a coin to see if you can attack, which is just
Yeah,
half the time not going to be able to attack, and
um,
that's
it's kind of
terrible.
like a really really bad Mew EX,
Yeah.
but it could be fun. I'd never use it in a real deck, but assist
Mew
looks
X is
yeah
just better
yeah.
everywhere.
So all right, moving on into the dragon types. We've got Flygon.
Okay, so Sand Prism. Every turn you put one damage counter on your opponent's Pokemon. So I think that's two damage counters
It
per.
basically poisons all of your opponent's Pokemon while it's
Yeah.
out. Yep.
Okay, and then Flying Beat does 80 damage, and you may discard a Grass Energy and Fighting Energy attached to this Pokemon. If you do, the defending Pokemon is paralyzed. And like all the dragons, I think all the dragons anyway, it has a mixed color,
Yep.
has a mixed requirement: grass, fighting, and then two colorless. So I guess that's interesting. I don't know if it just isn't really that great. And for a stage two, if you're going to be used, you have to be really good. So I don't think it's going to be used very much.
I think this is really similar to the old Flygon EX we had. I don't remember exactly what that card did, but at least the attack I think is almost the same. So I think this is a good card. I've seen some people talking about using it without ever attacking, just using this and Dusknoir together to
Oh yeah,
move damage around. That's a cool idea. I don't know if it would work because that's two stage twos, but yeah, I don't know if it had like lightning and fire instead of fighting in grass, it'd be a lot better because you could use it with energy accelerators, but without those, makes it a lot harder for it to attack and use that Perilous. I still
yep.
think it's a really good card, though. It might become useful sooner or later. So it's got potential.
Okay.
Next, on our
Wait. So
third
does
yak.
it work if you have more than one Flygon?
It has to be active, so you can only have one.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Mm. If it has to be active, I don't think I can't see it being that great.
Oh.
Anyway, Black Kurumi X.
Yep.
Okay, so for a lightning and two colorless, it does 60. Flip a coin if heads defending Pokemon is paralyzed. That's alright, it's first attack, I guess. And then Freeze Bolt, 150, and the defending Pokemon, and this Pokemon, sorry, can't use Freeze Bolt next turn. It's cool. It'd be cool if you can get one of the new tool cards on it.
Yeah, the
Uh,
one that goes with him gives him 300 HP, I think.
yeah, it
Yeah.
does. So, I don't know. I don't think it's anything amazing. 150 is cool, but next turn you can't do anything. It's got too big a retreat cost to get out of it that easily, so it's alright, but it's definitely not on Mewtwo, Darkrai, or Rayquaza level.
Yeah, I think it's decent. Uh, it is doing. I mean, it's doing enough to two hit KO any of the EXs over two turns, even with an Eviolite. It's still going to be doing like 170. if they have a Violite both turns. So yeah, it's okay. I don't think it's that great.
Yeah.
The second attack is just really expensive.
Yeah.
Three different.
I don't get what
energies.
the obsession with 150 is when nothing gets actually hit. Nothing has 150 HP.
Yeah. And I think that it has the weaker A-spec card too. I don't think that the 300 HP is as good because you can just tool scrapper it and then it dies. So
yeah, 150 plus the extra 50 from the other tool card's definitely good though.
Yep.
Then even with the Nebulite, you can 1-8 any EX.
Yep, that one is nice. But you can't play that one with this guy. You have to use it on White Kyurem.
I think the other one has a similar attack, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's similar. We'll get to it. Look at it then.
Okay.
Next, Eradicate.
Nora, for 1 colorless, discard a tool card attached to your Pokemon, the defending Pokemon, and then Super Fang, place damage counters on the defending Pokemon until it has 10 HP left. That's interesting.
Yeah.
They only got 60 HP though.
Yeah.
So
but I mean, really, if you have 90 or less, it's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
Pretty much everything is going to kill you anyhow.
But even something like a Darkrai could just pick this thing off.
Yeah, that's true.
Rattata has 30, which is like, just please don't play Darkrai because the second this thing hits the field, it's dead.
Yeah.
So
Super Fang looks like fun
though. The fact that Rattata's only got 30 is going to be the major thing that stops this from doing any good.
Yeah. I'll probably try and make a deck out of it, but I don't think it'll be any good. Use this and Amoonguss. So bring them down to 10 and then poison them. They die.
Yeah, definitely could be cool with poison.
Yep.
Something like an EX.
Yeah, but yeah, it did kind of get screwed over by its hit points. Even if it had 70, like 40 and 70 would have been better.
Yeah, much better.
That didn't happen. So, next, Lopunny. I think I completely skipped over this card the first time I read through these.
You just generally skip over like all the colorless.
Yeah.
Usually just nothing. Lopunny, Healing Song, flip a coin if heads, all your Pokemon recover 60. That's cool. And then Kick Away for 3 colorless, does 60 damage, switch the defending Pokemon with one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Healing Song's cool, I guess, but it's on a flip.
Yeah.
So, I think in some sort of Trainer Lock deck last thingy.
Last format.
Last format, there we go. I think it would have been cool if you got lucky, but now 60 on everything's not that amazing, and it's just on a flip, so.
Yeah. Alright, next. Unpheasant.
Unpheasant for 2 colorless does 40, and you switch the defending Pokemon with one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Air Slash 80, flip a coin, if tails discard an energy attached to this card. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good card you got there.
Picture is really cool. I like the picture a lot.
Yeah, I like the picture.
But that's the only notable thing about the card, so we can skip it.
Why? Well, again, why would you have a downside? Like 80 for 3 on a stage 2.
Yeah, it doesn't need
downside to stage 2. That's the downside.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh well. Next, we have a very interesting card, Audino.
Yeah. Audino, this ability, Troublesome. If this card is in your hand, you can use the ability once during your turn. Heal 10 HP and remove 1 special condition from your active Pokemon. Afterwards, discard the card. So I think that's really cool. If those sort of poison decks we're talking about have become popular, this and Espeon definitely see a lot of use. I think more Espeon, but this could still see use because Espeon can just be captured.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I think that's the strength of this card is that there is no way for your opponent to block it. Like, they can't item lock it because it's not an item. They can't catcher it because it doesn't sit on the bench. It just goes right from your hand to the discard, so there's no way for them to stop it. I think this is a really, really good card for the format.
Yeah.
Because it's an optional tech. Like if status decks get big, it gives you an option, but then of course you have to make room for it. So
Yeah, I like it a lot actually. I think it's nice that it doesn't even clog up your bench; it just goes straight to the discard,
yeah,
which is where you want it anyway.
yeah, very cool. And we've never like I don't think we ever had an ability like that before that you could
Deactivates from
play
your
it from your
hand.
hand. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like Ho-Oh.
Yep. All right, so
Okay.
that's gonna do it for the Pokemon. Next, well, at least for the first set. And next we have our items and Escape Rope. Is the Warp Point reprint.
Your opponent switches his or her active Pokemon with one of his or her bench Pokemon, if any. You switch your active Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon, if any. Just not really anything great.
Yeah, it's kind of. I mean, it's like a. I don't know. It's disruptive. I think it could be disruptive, depending on what's on your opponent's bench, and it lets you switch out. So
Yeah, but Switch and Catcher did the same thing, but much better. I don't know if this would be used over Switch. It
yeah,
could
see,
be.
that's the thing. I think it could be used probably over Switch, and definitely not over Catcher. But I think
Yeah,
it is probably better than Switch. Uh, not
depending on the
yeah,
situation.
not in every situation, but that a little bit of added disruption could be nice. Plus, your opponent has to switch first, so you can kind of see what they send out and then maybe react to that. Um,
Yeah,
so could be useful, but I mean, compared to the other item cards we have in the game, it's just not that good.
yeah.
Mostly just because the other ones are so good. But next up we have Town Map.
Town map, you play with your prizes face up for the rest of the game. So it's cool if
Yep.
you want to make sure you get which prizes. It's a little risky because your opponent knows what's prized. So if they see half your stage 2 lines prized, they just aim for that, and knowing that you won't be able to keep them going if you can take it out. But I
Yeah,
don't know.
it is.
It's alright.
It is interesting. Every time I read it, though, like I think of those games where I've got about three prizes left, and one of them is a card I really, really need, and I think about how nice it would be to have this card
Yeah, just
during those situations. But yeah, there's definitely some risk involved. So, and there's also like the issue of room. How if you're gonna have room to fit it into your deck, it's just kind of gonna take up space. So
I don't think it's going to see a whole lot of play, but some people might be like, I need this card
yeah, I
because
think some people will definitely play it just as like a security blanket,
yeah.
whether or not it actually helps them. So okay, next we have our supporter for this half, Hugh, the rival from Black and White 2.
Okay, so Hugh, both you and your opponent draw or discard cards until you have 5. It's cool. If there's some way to just make your opponent draw a ridiculous amount of cards and then play Hugh, and they're like, oh, there goes half my deck. But other than that, I think it's just not quite good enough.
Yeah, I'd rather just play Bianca. Like
Yeah,
most of the time, your opponent is gonna have less than 5 cards, so you're just gonna be letting them draw cards. Yeah, not great. I'd rather play Bianca in almost every situation.
I just want to make a deck with, I don't know what yet, but there has to be some combination of cards out there that just makes your opponent draw a ridiculous amount of cards. And then like, oh, sorry, there's half your deck. They're like, oh, I lose.
Yeah. And next, our stadium, Burbank City Gym.
Okay, this one you're talking about.
Yeah.
If a Pokemon is poisoned, you place 2 more damage counters on between turns, so that's 30 every turn,
Yep.
which is a lot.
Yep.
I think it's really cool, and I think it's definitely going to see some play depending on. It doesn't. It might not be in tier 1 decks, but I think definitely at least tier 2 decks will be around this card and things
Yeah.
like Scolipede.
Yeah. Yeah, this card looks like a lot of fun. So I agree. I don't think it's going to be in a top tier deck, but I think it will see play. People will try to make it work. Um, I really like the artwork too. I love the gym, like in game, in the actual game. I really liked second gym. I thought it was cool. So
Is this the band gym?
yeah,
Yeah.
the
I remember this
underground
one.
club. Yep. Okay, next
Okay.
gold
Golden Potion.
potion.
You heal 90 damage from your active.
Yep.
And it's one of the ace spec cards, and you can only have one in your deck, so
Right, and that's one A spec total, like not one gold potion and one something else. You get one A spec, and that's it.
I think it's cool. I think that if you're not running any like sort of deck that requires one of the other A spec cards, you might just chuck this in, just because it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's nothing ridiculously game breaking, but sometimes just healing off 90 damage just sets them back for another KO, which can be really important.
Yeah. Yep, I like it. I think, tank decks are really popular right now. Next set, we'll have to see. I know that Hydreigon Darkrai is kind of a tank deck. So maybe there will be some more that come out. And I think some of those might opt for this. The main thing is going to be computer search is going to probably take precedence for most people. But I think Gold Potion is really, really good. And definitely worth considering if you're running that kind of tankish deck. So
I think there's definitely going to be, everyone's going to play one A spec, and if you're not playing one of the Kyurem forms, you just have to choose between Gold Potion or Computer Search.
I really like the A spec mechanic in general. I think it's very cool addition to the game, and I can't wait till there's more of them, because that'll be really difficult to choose, like your one, your ace card basically. So
I just hope it doesn't make it broken with things like 300 HP Kyurems.
Yeah, but so far they seem okay to me. Like, just because there's only one, there's no junk arm.
Yeah, junk arm's huge.
Yeah, I think
junk arm was still in the format, they'd be so broken.
Yeah, oh man, if they had junk arm.
It'd be like, oh, catcher? No, I don't need catcher. I've got just a 300 HP basics all game.
Yeah. And the second one, Crystal Edge. This is the one that gives Black Kyurem 300 HP.
So yeah, it's a tool card, and when it's attached to Black Kyurem, as maximum HP, it's increased to 300, which is cool. It's going to be annoying, especially if something's like just max potion and then this.
Yeah.
But I think Tool Scrap is just going to keep that in check.
And plus, like, max potion won't really work anyhow because Black Kyurem takes 4 energy to attack. So if you max potion, you're back so far that it's gonna be hard to attack again. I think this is definitely the weakest.
Energy.
But it's a water too. It's a lightning, a colorless, and 2 water.
Yeah.
So there's no way to attack unless you had electric and Blastoise together. Then you could attack the next turn, but
then it'd be like, oh my god.
Yeah. I think this is the weakest of the A-Spec cards, definitely.
Okay.
And full art EXs, so let's pick our favorite arts for the EXs. Cresselia, which one do you like?
Have a look at I think I like normal Cresselia more.
Yeah? Let me see. I gotta look at that. I definitely like the full art one better.
Really?
I don't know. The regular art one, it looks like a torpedo or something. It's looks kind of strange. I like the background a lot too with the full art one with the aurora going on.
Yeah, I like them both, but I don't know. I think there's more going on in the normal one.
All right, next Landorus.
Okay. Roll up to normal Landorus. I think I like the full art one.
All right. I just have to say I really don't like this form in general. I think it looks awkward.
Yeah.
So it's hard to choose. Just because it's so ugly, I'm gonna have to go with the regular art because that thing looks insane. Like, he will cut you. And he won't even care.
Yeah.
He's just
That's scary.
his eyes are
I like
bugging
that
out.
Trump's
Like
tornadoes.
I could every time I look at the card, I just imagine him letting out like this absolutely crazy scream and just slashing. Do you watch Futurama at all?
No.
Okay. There's this one robot and he's like the stabbing robot. That's his thing. And every time I look at this picture, I hear that guy's voice. Uh, so that's why I like the regular art one better. I think his name is
Yeah.
Roberto, the stabbing robot. And Black Kirim.
Kirim, hmm, it's normal Kirim. I think I like the normal one more.
Yeah.
Once again, because of the outskirty bits.
I have to look at it again. Yeah, the electric around it's kind of cool. I think I like the full art better though, because it's like in profile view, so you can see that really jutting chin. That's what I like about Black Kirim's design, is the chin, the really sharp jutting chin. I think it makes him look pretty cool. So I like the
I
full
guess.
art one better.
I just like outside bits. I think they're cool.
Yeah, that is cool, but it's not as cool as like Dark Rise, which was really neat.
Yeah.
Or Giratina.
Irritators, yeah, that one was awesome.
And then for the shiny, we got a shiny Golurk. Guess that's cool. Full art Sharon. I missed that. I really like the
Yeah, I
picture
like it a
on
lot.
full art Sharon. Very cool. And a golden Rocky helmet. So what a waste of a secret rare.
Why wouldn't they do a golden Eviolite?
Yeah.
Think that you they go to first.
Maybe next set. So.
Hmm.
Alright, that is going to do it for the first half. Alright, so next, I guess we have... Well, that was Freeze Bolt, so this would be Cold Flare. Yeah, Cold Flare, it says right there. So, first card is going to be Tangrowth.
Tangrowth, 100 whips. For one grass, it does 30 times the amount of grass attached. And you can't use it next turn, which I guess is cool, but there's no grass acceleration, so
Yeah.
it's like manually powering up to do 30. And then Mega Drain does 70, and you remove 30 damage count. 30.
Yeah.
Just 3 damage counters, but yeah.
You notice they
right.
changed the mechanic for healing attacks. It used to, like, it always used to say remove half the damage done by this attack, so that if you hit super effectively, you got to heal more. But with this set, they changed it to just like a set number, which kind of makes them a lot weaker.
Oh. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. It's just not a very good card.
No.
And grass types suck at the moment.
Yep.
So.
Yep. All right, next Celebi EX.
Oh, best EX ever. It's just amazing. I think it's gonna be in every deck, and it's just
gonna be for
really,
Celebi.
really, really good card.
Yeah, so seriously.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's
Yeah.
like the worst card ever. And like, what the hell was they thinking?
The ability is cool and unique. It's just not good.
Not good.
There's no
Attack sucks.
there's no attacks that you use from the under evolutions. For one,
Yeah.
most people, if you do I can only see this being useful on stage 2s, because most basics just have awful attacks. And then most of the time when you do play stage 2s, you're going to want to candy into them, which means you don't even have the stage 1 in there to begin with. So
I think it'd be cool-ish if it was like you could still use the abilities of stage
Yeah,
1.
that
just
would
for
be
the
cool.
electric.
yeah, and Gabite too.
Oh yeah, and Gabite. Yeah,
Yep.
that'd be really cool. But it's not.
No.
It's
It's
and it's like, yes, let's evolve so we can use a worse attack.
yeah.
And it's an EX. The first time I looked at it, I was like, yeah, that's a bad card. And then I scrolled down and I was like, wait, that's an EX? Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
the worst ever made.
Yeah, it's bad. Okay. Then again, we said Kyogre was bad and it won nationals. So who knows?
But I don't know. I feel like this is even worse than Kyogre.
Yeah, I feel pretty safe putting a bad stamp on it. Moving right along, we have Lavani.
So for 2 colorless, it does Slash Apart, which is 30, flip 2 coins. If both the heads discard all energy attached to the defending Pokemon, that's cool. And then for 2 grass and a colorless, does 70, flip a coin. If heads, does another 20. Its first attack is cool, but it's stage 2. So
Yeah, I'd rather just play 3 crushing hammers and call it a day.
I think if it was on a stage 1, it'd be playable, and actually no, it wouldn't be playable because it's 2 coins. So if it was like 1 coin on stage 1, it'd be cool, I guess. But I don't know, it's just bad.
Yep. Agreed. And Lilligant.
So return does 20, and you draw your cards from your deck until you have 6, and then Magical Leaf, 50 damage, flip a coin. If heads, this attack does 30 more damage, and you remove 3 damage counters from Lilligant. It's cool. I think return would be cool if it was on a basic.
And Magical Leaf would be cool on something with more HP.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty much.
So good attacks on a crappy Pokemon.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I think it'd be cool though. I definitely would like to see return on even on Petalil.
Yeah.
You can just actually do something, but at the stage 1,
yep,
it's nothing.
Because you can't use it on your first turn. That's really when it would have been the most useful.
Yes.
Okay, next, Camerupt.
So Flame Shard does 60, and the defending Pokemon is now burned. Flip a coin. If heads, the defending Pokemon is also paralyzed. And then Flamethrower, 80, and you discard an entity attached to this Pokemon. It's cool. It's nothing great.
It's 130 HP stage 1, so that's nice.
Yeah.
I guess if people were screwing around with like the Volcarona deck, this guy would be a natural fit into that with the automatic burn. But other than that, I don't think he's gonna be any good. So
yeah,
awesome picture though.
Yeah,
erupting volcano. Yep. Okay, on to water, and let's talk about Squirtle real quick, just because he has a super useful ability. Shell Shield. Yep.
As long as this Pokemon is on the bench, it takes no damage from attacks. So it's like Darkrai. No.
Yep, Darkrai Insurance. Raikou can't snipe it, so that's good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And then we have Blastoise, who is essentially just Blastoise, the original Blast. He's actually like the original Blastoise from base set, just stronger. Yep.
So the Rain Dance, it's just normal Rain Dance. You attach from water from your hand as often as you like, and then Hydro Pump, 60, and then another 10 for each water on Blastoise.
Yeah, so it's essentially an improved version of Feraligatr. One big difference between the two is that Blastoise lets you attach water energy to any Pokemon.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be water type, so means that
just
you can.
Like Emble.
Yep, means that you can play Mewtwo. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people hyping this card up, along with Keldo. I'm not sold on it yet. I think accelerating from the hand is always 10 times harder than from the discard. It's why Emboar just didn't really work. But I do think Blastoise has better partners than Emboar to attack, so he could see some play.
Yeah, I like Keldeo's ability with Blastoise's retreat cost.
Yep.
Because one of the worst things about Emboar was that once they catch her up, if you don't have a switch, you're just going to have to wait for it to get KO'd.
Yeah, and Blastoise attack is actually usable too.
Yeah.
So you're going to be playing just water energies in any deck you run this thing in, probably. And so it's basically going to be 100 for 4, which isn't great, but it's respectable at least. So
well, yeah, it's good if you do have that ability as well.
Yeah.
100 for 4 is really not that big a deal.
If you're forced to attack, at least you're not awful.
Yeah.
So yeah, cool picture too. I love the face. Like, Blastoise has always just been portrayed as the school bully. I feel like it's just this big fat thing that has a bad attitude, and I like the picture a lot. Okay.
Yeah, it's cool.
Golduck.
Golduck, Amnesia for colorless does 20, and then you can select one of the defending Pokemon's attack, which you can't use next turn. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then Aquavale for 2 water does 90, and you discard all energy. It's alright. It's nothing great.
I think it's a lot better than a lot of the other cards that we've kind of ignored. Both the attacks are good. Like, obviously, Amnesia, if they only have one attack and an ability, they just can't attack you ever.
Yeah.
And Aquatail,
Like the switch.
yeah, right, they can play Switch, but I think Switch is going to be a lot less common after rotation. Like, I don't think people are going to have room to fit 4 into their deck, and you can't junk arm for them anymore, so... Obviously, Darkrai just ruins that little game, but
Yeah.
it's still kind of cool. And then 90 for 2 isn't bad, so it's a decent card, but not going to be winning anything big.
I don't know.
Okay. And next is Swanna.
Swanna for 2 colorless does 20, and then flip a coin of heads does another 20. Defog for a water and 2 colorless does 60. Then you may discard a stadium card and play, and if you can, you do another 40. It's cool. If you can fit a lot of stadium cards in your deck, you can do 100 every turn for 3 on a stage 1, which is alright. But it's nothing amazing.
Yeah, I don't think it's that great. I'd rather use Golduck.
Yep.
Okay, next. Keldeo EX.
Okay, so Keldeo, step in, its ability, and once during your turn, if Keldeo is on your bench, you may switch it with your active. So kind of like Machamp's ability, last format, but you don't get the energies attached to the Pokemon in the active.
Yeah.
And then Secret Sword does 50, and then another 20 for every water energy attached. So it's like Gardevoir's attack.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. Definitely going to be good with Blastoise. I really like its ability. I think that's the one thing that's going to make this deck playable is its ability.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the EXs, well, not a lot of the EXs, but a lot of times abilities like this aren't really that great. They'd be good, but when you're pairing it with something like Blastoise, it's going to be really, really helpful.
Yeah.
And it's going to be used a lot, just about every match, so...
And the fact that it doesn't have a damage cap is huge too. It's not as strong as Mewtwo. Obviously, the attack it's a lot more like Gothitelle, just a little stronger. But still, the fact that there is no damage cap and you can attach unlimited energy means you could be one-shotting EXs. It'd take a lot of energy, but it's possible. So that's really cool. And yeah, I really like the ability a lot too, especially when the partner is going to be something that has 4 retreat. So I think Keldeo has a lot of potential, and I think it's going to be in a deck, a good deck. So.
Yeah, so I think 7 energy to 1 KO and EX. It's with Blastoise, with something like Eels, that would be a lot harder, I think, but with Blastoise, I think it's possible, and you could probably get it off every couple games. So.
Yeah.
Depending on how much energy you ran.
Yep.
It's cool.
So, yeah, I like this card. I think it's the first really good EX we've seen out of this set.
Okay.
Next, Electivire.
Electric Wave. This attack does 30 damage. Takes your opponent's bench Pokemon. So that's cool. Same attack as Kyurem. And then Shockwave does 80 damage and isn't affected by weakness or resistance. It's alright. It's definitely not a bad card.
Yeah.
It's nothing amazing.
Stage 1, so that's good. 120 HP, that's nice. The attack, the first one, is pretty strong. It doesn't hit the active, so that's kind of unfortunate, but it can, you can power it up really easily, so I think it's a pretty good card. I still
just think that Eviolite is... you can't play spread decks because Eviolite is just... doesn't work.
Yeah.
You do 10 damage, and they just put it on all their big attackers, and once those things get powered up, you can't touch them.
Yeah,
So,
I could see it being paired with Dusknoir maybe. Again, like obviously Dusknoir is pairs with any kind of spread deck, so Evilite definitely kills it. But then Garchomp is going to be a pretty good deck, and that can't use Evilite, and you can't get it back with Junk Arm anymore, so you might not see 3 on the field at a time. So, I mean, it definitely hurts it, but I don't know.
I don't know.
Could
I don't
be.
know if I played
Okay.
this or Kyurem though. I think I'd still probably just play Kyurem.
Yeah, that's true.
But anyway, it's definitely not a bad card.
Yep.
Probably will see some play.
Next,
Okay.
Galvantula.
Adventure. Discharge for lightning, 30, just 30 times the amount of energy you discard. So that's cool,
Mm-hmm.
I guess. 30 is really not that great though. If it was something a little higher, it'd be better, and it's only got 80 HP, so
Yeah.
that's really what's gonna stop it from doing anything good. Just gets 1EK'd by Darkrai and any other EX.
Yeah, it's completely mediocre. Alright, moving right along. We have Dusknoir. Duskull's picture, I just want to call attention to that. Awesome.
Hide and seek.
Yep. And
Okay.
then we have Dusknoir.
Dusknoir, so Dark Hand. It's pretty much the opposite of Reuniclus's ability.
Uh-huh.
So it works on the opponent's Pokemon, can move damage counters around however you want, which is great, especially with things like Darkrai, and even more with things like Kyurem and that Electrovire we just saw. If you can just spread to all your bench, and then after even just one attack with Kyurem, if nothing's got an Eviolite on it, and it's got full bench, you can all the damage counters on the
Yeah. I think this is a really cool card, and I definitely think it's going to see play. If it's not good in this set, it will be good later at some point. I can almost guarantee. Like, that ability is just too good not to be taken advantage of at some point. So yeah, a little bit low, but
I think H2 should go at least 160.
yeah, 160 would have been nice. Still, I like the card a lot. So
That's really good.
next up we have another revenge killer, Toxicroak.
That's great. Stage 1 and for a color that only plus set if the opponent if the opponent's Pokemon was knocked out. So yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then training Pokemon's focus.
Yep.
It's good. 90 for 1 is into colors, but I don't know. It's really good, really great. Me too. But I don't think it's super good. It's different plat, but it's going to be tracky.
Yeah. Oh.
So I like the fact that it 1K is
Yeah. It could see use in the poison deck as well, just because it's faster than what's his face, Venipede, and 60 plus the 60 damage from poison for the 2 rounds is gonna be 120, so that's cool, and it's got the revenge ability, so it's pretty fast. I agree, it's not gonna be as good as Terrakion or even Bufflant, but anything that can do 90 for 1, I think will have potential. And it's got some support cards to give it a little help, so maybe.
Okay. Swoobat.
Swoobat, and it's actually not awful.
So Jet Woofer, for 1 psychic, you discard cards from your opponent's deck equal to the amount of psychic cards attached to Swoobat, and then Acrobatics is bad. 2 colors, flip 2 coins, attack does 20 more damage for each heads. But yeah, it's cool. It'd be a lot better if there was some way of accelerating psychic.
Gardevoir.
Gardevoir, I don't think it's going to be that great, but I don't know, it could be cool.
Yeah. The main thing is it's stage one, so like Durant was a basic that made it a lot easier to get down. But I think Gardevoir and Experience Share could potentially work if you're really like if you really want to build a mill deck. This is gonna be the guy to try and do it with. Once you
Yeah,
you're gonna be discarding 4 energy if you have two, assuming you have a Gardevoir out, and then if you have that Experience Share, you could hit 3 or 4 energies pretty easily maybe. So that's a lot of cards. So,
yeah, but only 2 energy as long as you do have that Gardevoir. It's same as Durant, but
yeah.
I don't know. It seems just a lot slower than Durant. And
Yeah.
Durant, one of the best things was that you could just run very low Pokemon count, and then all these items that just disrupt your opponent. With this, if you're gonna run a stage 2 and a stage 1 line, you're gonna have almost no room for disruption. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I'm sure I guarantee you people will try it though.
yeah.
So. All right. Next, Sandslash.
And slash for fighting in a colorless does 20, and then the opponent flips a coin. If tails, they can't attack next turn, and or as long as it's defending Pokemon. And then Earthquake does 80, and then does 10 to each of your bench. So it's alright. It's a fighting type, which is obviously gonna help it, but yeah, it's nothing great.
Yeah, not that good. All right, Solrock. Here's your boy. Tell us why you like it so much.
Solrock. So, Solrock's first attack, Burning Heat, does 20. Defending Pokemon's burned, which is, I guess, alright. And then second attack, for fighting and 2 colors, does 90. And then this Pokemon does 90 to itself. But if you have things like Eviolite on Solrock, it doesn't get KO'd.
You can use Defender too.
Sorry?
You can use Defender too.
Yeah,
Yep.
as well. So, I think it's cool. 90 for a fighting colorless. You make a Darkrai, don't even play it, and that's really nice. And not hard to get out stuff for the double colorless energy. I think it was too fighting colorless. It would be hard to get out. But
Yeah.
fighting colorless, it's not hard to get out. Very hard is not great, but if you don't want it, they just.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of like it gets a little help from its type, going from being a very mediocre card to possibly being playable if Electric and Dark are still really big by the time this set comes out.
If it was a grass card, it'd be like, oh, it just would be as a fine type.
Yeah. All right. And next, Conkeldurr.
Okay, so regardless, side 60, it's not 60 if you win, and then punch it 60 and you cut 20. That's the 2 colorless.
Yeah.
Not very good.
No, it's it's not.
I think if you have more drain punch, it's like you talk about if it's like you cut it in half and then you go like 80 right?
Yeah.
That's you can get 90.
Yeah.
But mistake. It's enough.
Yeah. I'd rather play one of the other ones. They're cooler. Look at the derpy look on its face too. I think this one's a little slow. Yeah.
It just looks scary. Like, I don't know, it looks intimidating. This one's like, hi guys.
It's like, I've got the concrete too. Okay. Next. Very interesting little card. Crossil.
Awesome. So still the ability sturdy, and if this Pokemon has no damage counters on it, and it was gonna be knocked out by an attack, it remains on 10 HP, which is cool. And then Stone Edge 70. We flip a coin if heads, attack does another 20. It's alright. It's still, even with sturdy, it's not amazing. 100 HP. It's just out of the range of getting 1 KO'd by Darkrai, so if it was 90, sturdy would be good, but even then, all you have to do is just, if you get an attack off with Darkrai earlier, just make sure you get 30 on the Dwebble or the Crustle
Yeah.
on the bench, and then that's it.
Yep.
But, it's definitely a cool ability. I like to see it on some better Pokemon than someone with just 70 and then maybe a possible 90.
Yeah, me too. Just not an EX.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I
But
really...
it'd matter in EX anyway.
Yeah. I really like the ability. I agree. I think I'd like to see it come back on some other things. Steelix comes to mind right away. That would be cool.
Yeah.
The attack, maybe if it was like a fighting and 2 colorless, that'd be better. But that's kind of expensive. So I agree. It's pretty mediocre. Sturdy, like if it sees any play, it'll be because of Sturdy and because of its typing. So, yep. And next, Scissor.
Okay, so Steel Strike 40, and then during your opponent's next turn, it can't take damage from an EX, which is really good. And then Slash Down does 100, and during your next turn, you can't use Slash Down. I think it's really good. Definitely with all the EXs going around, if you come across a deck that's pretty much got just EX attackers, then they can't do anything. So the fact that this card will almost definitely see some play means that people are going to have to start taking things other than just EXs. You can't just run 3 Mewtwo, 3 Darkrai and think you're going to be able to do well.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm not sold on it. I think it's pretty mediocre. Like, the first attack is cool, but I don't think there's going to be too many decks that use only EX attackers by the time this comes out. I think Garchomp will be around, and then, that Darkrai deck that won Nationals at Japan had some other extra attackers. Its typing, not that good. No one really plays Metal, so I guess you probably have to use Blend Energy if you put it in a deck. I can't imagine anyone playing like a pure Metal deck. So
yeah, I don't know. I think it would have been better if Steel Strike did a little bit more damage, and if it was released in the current format we were just playing.
Yeah.
Next format, like you're saying, there's things like Hydreigon and Thingy and
Garchomp.
That's the one.
It kind of reminds me a lot of Scissor Prime, where it looked really cool, but it just didn't work.
It was too
for whatever reason.
hard to get it to work.
Yeah. So we'll see. I like Scissor, so I hope it's good.
Yeah.
Skarmory, does it do anything? No.
Flip a coin of heads to defending Pokemon's confused, and then 70. Yeah, it's nothing.
Nope. Cool picture though. Again, I like the background, like the color shade of the background. The really gray city.
Yeah.
Works
Could
well.
you find Skarmory in Black and White too?
I haven't found one yet. I'm not completely through. I just beat the 7th gym though, because
I
I'm
finished it a while ago.
I'm recording it all, so I have to do it like a little bit at a time. I'll probably finish it this weekend though. I just got my 7th badge, so I'm almost done.
I was pissed off that I couldn't find Hydreigon. Really
Oh yeah.
So White Kyurem EX.
Yes.
So this is the other Kyurem EX that does Dragon Steam, which is 60. Flip a coin of heads. You attach a basic energy card from the discard pile to this Pokemon. So that could be really cool. And then Cold Flare does 150. You discard 2 fire energy. And then the defending Pokemon is now burnt. So I think that's really cool. I like, and obviously this card goes with the Ace card. Which one's
Crystal Shard, I think.
Crystal Edge.
Crystal Edge. All right.
Okay, so Crystal Edge means that if you do have that attached, you'll be able to do 200, which is able to 1-hit KO EXs. So that's cool. But once again, it's an Ace card, so
yeah,
it's not like you're going to be attached that often. And I don't know, it's just a dragon type, and to have to have 2 different energies on it, and then you're still only doing 150. It's just not amazing. I think
Garchomp is kind of gonna keep this card in check because it can 1-hit KO all of the EXs in one shot and then not be one-shotted back by anything. Well, I guess Rayquaza could, but yeah, Garchomp can just be like, all right, well, you can KO me and do 200 damage and take one prize, and then I'm gonna come in and do 200 damage back and take two prizes, and now your A spec is gone. So.
Yeah, I think it's cool, but I don't know. I just don't think it'll be played that much. And
yeah.
If you were gonna play, you probably have to play it with Ambor.
Yep.
But yeah, it doesn't have the right energy acceleration.
I'd rather just play computer search than try and use this guy. So, okay, next we have a very interesting card, Ditto.
Ditto. So its ability transform. During your turn, you may play a basic card from your hand onto this Pokemon. This Pokemon is treated as that basic Pokemon, and any cards, damage counters, conditions, and effects on that Pokemon are transferred to on Ditto are transferred to the new basic Pokemon. I don't know. I haven't thought of anything that too useful yet.
Okay, so
someone said you could like play Charmander on it and then still evolve into your stage 1.
Right.
But,
that's kind of the thing, I think. And I mean, that's really good. Like having basically it just increases your basics HP to 70, so it makes them a lot harder to catch or kill. So it kind of gives you a little bit more health. But I think the main issue with it is going to be space. Like, can you really afford to put this guy in there? Because then, even if he's in your deck, you still need the basic and the stage 1 to do it next turn. Or if you're trying to get a stage 2, like, you still need Ditto and the basic and a rare candy and the stage 2.
It's
I
cool,
don't know.
but I don't know.
I would have rather just had broken time space back.
Yeah.
We'll see. It's got potential. I think it's just gonna end up as the 61st card in a lot of decks.
Yep.
Okay, next, Dunsparce.
Best card in format.
Oh, look how happy he is that you said that.
Just like having a Sunday.
Yep.
Yeah, so double draw is alright, I guess. Draw 2 cards from your deck, but really...
Just play Virizion.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Next.
So, Whismur. Wait, why am I going through Whismur?
I don't know.
Exploud. I was like, Whismur? Wait, what? Exploud. Roar of Destruction for 3 colorless. Look at your opponent's hand. Discard all items. That's cool, I guess. And then Round for 4 colorless does 50, and then its attack does 50 times the amount of Pokemon with Round.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool. How much did Seismitoad do?
30.
With Round? 30.
Yeah.
So that's really good. Still a stage 2 though.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it'd be alright. I still doubt it's going to be even tier 2 deck. But
Yeah, I think this does make the Round deck a lot better. You could probably just go Exploud and Wigglytuff and forget about the Seismitoad. That lets you use just colorless energy, and then the first attack, if you can get it off on turn 2, could be huge. Could be really disruptive, especially with so many good item cards and no junk arm. Like if you get to go first and if you pull it off turn 2, that could end the game. Like your opponent might not be able to recover. So
yeah, it's good. I think I like its first attack, but I think that the fact that you have to waste an attack for that turn is going to be just isn't good enough. You have to be doing damage. So if you're wasting your turn taking out their item as well, they just kill you. But definitely early game. If it was on something like a stage 1, it would be great and probably see a lot of play. But on a stage 2, it's just too hard to get out early.
Yeah, I think it's got to be early game for the first attack. After that, you just have to kind of go with the Round thing. Yeah.
I really would have liked it if the Whismur got Round as well.
Yeah, that would have been crazy. Yeah.
I think it'd be cool if you could just lay out a bunch of Whismers and then something like Weekly Tough and
Yep.
maybe do decent. But yeah, it's nothing too great. But I'm sure some people will try it and it'll be alright.
Okay. Next, Delicati.
Delcatty. Energy Control, 30 damage, search your deck for a basic card and attach it to one of your Pokemon. It's cool. And then Double Slap, 30 damage, flip 2 coins, its attack does 30 times the number of heads. It's cool. I think this first attack would be awesome if it was on a stage 1. I'm not stage 1, sorry, basic.
Yeah, definitely.
On a stage 2. Like those sorts of attacks, things like we're talking about in the last one, Melodic and Delcatty, it's just you can't set up a stage 2 just to attack to help something.
Yeah.
Like if it's got an ability, it's great, but it just you can't set up the stage 2 and then try and help out the EXs that don't really need that help.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. If it was on a basic and if it was like not on a colorless Pokemon, I think it would be awesome with Vileplume. But it's neither of those things. So I like the picture. Picture's cool.
Yeah, picture's cool.
Okay, next, Watchhog. Another.
You're like lagging out a lot.
Uh-oh. Alright.
Okay.
Watchhog, what do you think about it?
Watchhog, so Hypnotic Pulse, 20, and the defending Pokemon's asleep. Psych Up 30 during next turn. This Pokemon Psych Up does 30 more. Meh. Not good.
Yep. Bad. Next.
Yeah.
Last Pokemon, Stoutland.
Stoutland, okay. So Watchdog, well, the Pokemon interactive, you cannot play Supporter, which is really good and actually good decent attack. 90 point.
Yep.
Pokemon does 20. So, really cool card. It's just juice, so I don't know, it might be hard to amazing, but definitely good ability. And I don't know, you have to step out interactive, and you can just be up with the card and then interact. It's really hard thing.
Yeah, you broke up a little bit, but I think it got most of that. I agree. Like, solid attack, 90 for 3, not bad. 3 colorless, too. That's big. And then a really good ability. The main thing is that it'll be pretty easy to catch her around, but it's still going to be really, really annoying when it's out there and you don't have a catcher and you can't refresh your hand to get a catcher. You kind of just have to deal with it. It is a stage 2, but I think it's got the stats to maybe see play at some point, even if, again, if it's not right when the set comes out. I think that ability is really strong. A little bit weaker just because of the item, like items being so good that sometimes you can get around not needing a supporter, but eventually you're going to need to get more cards, and without being able to play supporter, it's not going to be able to. It's going to be a lot harder.
Yeah, I think catch is what's going to make this card not that playable.
Yeah. Love the picture.
Yeah, picture's cool.
Very cool. Okay, next up, a very interesting little trainer card, Bicycle.
So you draw a card until you have 4. I guess it's cool for a trainer. I just think drawing until you have 4 is really not that great, even as a trainer. I think it'd be cool if you could shuffle in and maybe just draw out 3 or 4 as your trainer, but most of the time it's hard to get your hand down below 2.
Yeah.
So then using a trainer to draw back, you might draw back only 2 or 3, which it's good, definitely as a trainer, but I don't know, I just don't think it's going to be that great, and I would just prefer to use a supporter.
I don't know. I disagree. I think this is a really, really good card because it's a trainer. Like, yeah, you only get to draw up to 4, but you can still play your supporter that turn too. Like, if you hit something, even if you only draw 1 or 2 cards, I think it could be big. And I think, like, it won't be huge in every deck, but Blastoise. can really use this card.
Yeah.
Just dump all of the energy from your hands. You could probably use Ultra Balls to, get rid of the other cards, and then Bicycle, get more energy, play it down, and yeah, I think it'll be really good with anything. Like, I guess Embor could do it too, but Embor's just not as good. So, I think,
I think it's good, but I don't know. I just feel like you're not gonna have the room to play it.
it's going to depend on the deck too. Like, some decks obviously will be able to really get their hand sizes down, and some decks won't, so it won't be nearly as good in there. But I do think it's got
Yep.
potential in the right deck to be really strong. So next,
Okay.
Ether.
So you reveal the top card of your deck, and if it's basic, you can attach it. If it isn't, you just return it to the top of your deck. I think it's good, and like you said, there are some combinations that could work with it, but I think it'd be a whole lot better if it was you return the card to the bottom of the deck, because then you could actually use them in a row.
Yep.
So I don't like the fact that you put it back on the top of your deck.
Yeah. Yeah, I still like it. I think it's cool. Like, any kind of energy acceleration that can be used on any type is really cool because it gives you options no matter what color deck you're playing. So I like it just for that reason. And again, I mentioned the combo with Lunatone or Musharna, but it would definitely be better if you put it on the bottom. So, still, it's a cool little card. I hope that it's good. Just because I would like to play something other than electric or dark deck.
Yeah.
And next, our supporter for this half of the set, Skyla.
Not really. Like, no, not really. Just be way sport up to fun trainer almost ever. So I don't know. I just can't see it so much.
I think,
It'd be cool with base pack.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's why it's been, like, I think that's the entire reason it exists. I agree. I think it's a little underpowered, but I don't think it's bad. I think it has potential. Like, it can search out A-specs, so that's good. It can also get stadiums, so that's nice. And there's just some really good trainer cards right now that, could come in handy. Ultra Ball or any kind of level ball. So if you get a ball with it, it basically lets you get a Pokemon. I wouldn't see like 4. I don't think it'll be a 4 of index, but it's not bad. It's unique. We don't have very many searching trainer cards. They're all shuffle and draw or just straight draw. So it's nice to see some searching cards come back. Just wish it were a little better. Like, even if it said like a trainer card and a basic energy, that would make it so much better.
Yeah.
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 So, okay. Next.
The Spurship Gym.
Yeah.
Colorless Pokemon have max speed created by 12. It's cool. There's not that many good colorless, but definitely something like that Stoutland.
Mm-hmm.
And if you just get increased by 20, it's really no downside at all, and it's be really good. It's not like you're gonna run across a whole lot of other colorless Pokemon, so if you're gonna use.
Oh. Alright, guys. Unfortunately, the call has dropped, and we tried to reestablish it, but we couldn't get Gunmonkey back. So since there's only a few cards left, we decided I could just finish up for myself. And yeah, so let's look at the last few cards. The last one where we were on was Aspiria City Gym. Colorless Pokemon have plus 20 HP. As Gunmonkey mentioned, there aren't really that many good colorless Pokemon to take advantage of it. Obviously there's the Stoutland we just looked at, and then Tornadus EX actually gets put to 190, and then with an Eviolite 210. So that could be big. Zekrom still murders them, but yeah, that was the first one that popped into my mind. And then regular Tornadus would be decent. Maybe Boufflant, the Boufflant that was coming out in the Dragon set that does 120 damage to EXs. maybe he could benefit from this, but overall, probably not that great. And after that, we have Computer Search, or I guess, yeah, it is called Computer Search, which is our final A-Spec card for this set, and it's just a reprint of the old Computer Search. You discard 2 cards, search your deck for any 1 card, put it in, and yeah, you get any card you want for discarding 2. So this is a really, really strong card. I think this is going to be the go-to A-Spec card. It's just so good. Being able to get any card at the moment you need it is amazing. And yeah, I think this will be the one that gets played in most of the decks, at least for now, until we get the next set and we see what kind of A-Specs they have. I think this is the best one for the set, with Gold Potion coming in at a distant second. So really good card, and the classic artwork calls back to the very first Computer Search. So I like this card a lot. I think it's really cool. And oh, I guess this wasn't the last A-Spec. The last A-Spec is Crystal Edge. This is the one that lets White Kyurem do 200 damage with his attack, which is which is, as we mentioned, a lot of freaking damage. So it's really good, but I think being a Pokemon tool makes it a lot weaker. It's going to be susceptible to Tool Scrapper, and you're probably still only going to get to take that KO once, because something's going to come in and revenge kill you. Either Hydreigon in the Darkrai deck or Garchomp in the Garchomp deck. I guess it would be a little bit harder for Darkrai since Hydreigon has to discard energy, but still, I think it's okay, but I don't think White Reshiram is good enough to play in the first place, so I don't think it'll see that much use. And that brings us to the EXs, so we'll talk about the art real quick. I did get Sam to message me with which ones he liked better. So to start, we got to scroll the whole way up here to Celebi. Here's the regular art. And back down to the full art. So here, we both like the regular art better. I think that the kind of time warp thing that's going on in the regular art, where it's traveling through that spiral, is really cool. The face is more expressive. Maybe it's just because of the glare here, but we both liked the regular art better for Celebi. Keldeo. Let's see. Oh wow, that's way too far. No, it wasn't. Never mind. I thought I was all the way back up to Landorus. Keldeo. Here you are. For Keldeo, here's the regular art. And here's the full art. So, Sam preferred the full art. I guess I'd agree. The background is really cool. The only thing is that his horn looks incredibly phallic. In the full art card, like, every time I look at the card, my eye is immediately drawn to that thing. It just looks like a large male genitalia jutting out of his face. I don't really care for Keldeo's design in general, so I didn't really like either, but I do like the full art better than the regular. And for White Kyurem, here's the regular art. And here's the full art. So, Gummonkey said it was kind of a tie for him, and it's a tie for me too, but just because I hate them both. I think they're both so jumbled. Like, it's so hard to see what's going on in these cards. I guess the full art one is a little bit less so. Let's look at the regular one again. But it's just, I think they both look really bad. Maybe that's just me, but anyhow, that is going to do it. Almost. We got our shinies for the set. Shiny Altaria won't load, but we got Shiny Terrakion, who's kind of cool. I still think that the full art one is the best looking. And then full art Bianca, which I think is great. I love this picture. Really good picture, and a really cool card, just like Sharon. So that's going to do it. Thumbs up if you like the video. Thank you, GunMonkey696, for joining me. Make sure you go check out his channel. I'll leave you a link in the description. And comment on this video, guys. Let us know what you think is going to be good, and of course which arts you prefer for the EXs. So thanks for watching. If you stuck through this whole thing, we're at an hour and a half, and that's going to do it. I will have more coming your way shortly. Thanks for watching, guys.